we took a few views of like what's going on with your money, like what's kind of what that looks like. Yeah, and it's okay. Hey, listen, you know what? The thing I'm most proud of you for, I've worked with a lot of people over the 17 years I've been with Dave, is that you're starting, you're pushing towards something, you're trying. There's a lot of people in the world that the minute that anything gets hard in their money, or if they even just think it's hard, they don't even get started, right? They don't even try, and so. You've already like probably won, I'd say 90% of your battle is already kind of like over in the fact that you started. Now, how do we fix it moving forward, right? So, in my coaching years, one thing I always like to do is obviously I have some of your numbers, having your numbers you put in. We have your numbers inside of EveryDollar as well.
Right.
But learned this little trick a long time ago. Just because we have the numbers, we used to, if I was sitting with you, I'd turn the paperwork over and say, anything crazy happened last night? Anything crazy happened since you turned in your numbers that we need to know about that could blow this whole thing up?
Right. Yeah, that seems to be part of the struggle. And then I'm also struggling with being a people pleaser. So like last minute drop-ins, like with your family or, and then I'm just like, it's like a bomb in the budget. So
yeah. Okay. That's okay. That's all right. Well, acknowledgement is key, right? We can say that we're not something, but yet all of our activities say that we are.
Yeah.
Right. And it's better just to say, no, this is kind of what I am. And then, that's a spot we can work from. We can take that and go, okay, so I want to have uphill dreams, but right now I have downhill habits. And having that acknowledgement is very key, because then you start seeing the gap. And now, when you're doing coaching with us and we're working with you inside of EveryDollar, it's like, great, let's just start talking about those habits and what you can commit to. So, how long have you been using EveryDollar?
So I tried, so I picked it up like mid-June. So like it was kind of awkward, but I was trying to be like, okay, well, what are the numbers? So I've been seriously trying to lock down numbers since July. So I know that Jade said it takes like about 3 months, but I feel like I picked, I don't know, kind of like the touristy 3 months where like everything seems to happen that's extra in life. And so I was trying to account for that, but at the same time be like, well, I can't do all that because that's not what a budget is. So, but yeah, I've been just trying to lock it in. And I've been making notes of like, what was crazy this month, like June, like Father's Day and all these other things that were happening. And then, so I can at least go back when I go to do the budget the next year and be like, okay, plan for these things,
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point, because, you have Father's Day, you have Mother's Day, we're about to come into here, we're at the end of August now, back to school. You're going to have Halloween that's going to come up. And
yes.
It isn't getting cheaper, right? You got Thanksgiving coming up. You have Christmas coming up. And like, so the thing is like those things stress us out when we don't plan for them.
Right.
Those things stress us out when we're like, oh my gosh, Christmas is December 25th this year. It's like, it always is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, the preparer, Becky, the person who can start getting control of their life, starts looking at those as like, all right, I'm planning for this. I see it coming. And then, there's always something that comes at us in life. I know you have animals and, kids and stuff. Like, hey, you can't plan for everything. And that's the reason why with your budget, one thing you just have to really consider is that it's a living, breathing document.
Yeah.
It's not the easy bake oven from when we were kids. Set it and forget it. Walk away.
Yeah.
It's good. It just doesn't work like that, right? And so, you do need to give yourself grace inside of that when something happens, it's just, hey, that's life.
Yeah, I feel like I'm cheating though. Like when I set my numbers and I'm like, and I don't adhere to it, and then I have to go back and be like, well, I didn't spend that much in this category, so let me move it over here. And then for some reason, I just feel like I failed, or like I'm frustrated I did that, because then when I go to set next month's budget, I'm like, I mean, did I really need this much, or did I just overspend in another category? So I feel like I can't, I don't know, like marry the two to be okay with it.
Yeah. So are you open to a different perspective?
Oh, always. That's the number one reason I jumped on here. So.
Okay, cool. So listen, when you have those months and you underspend or overspend on something like that, it's almost like, if you're on a diet or something like that, and, you go out to Mexican and you go have a bunch of tacos, maybe have a margarita or something, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm the worst. I did not adhere to my budget for food. And that was Friday night. Saturday, sometimes we slip into that pattern of like, I messed up Friday. I might as well just wait till Monday. Let me just
Yeah.
You hear it. And the reality is this: you go to bed that night, you wake up the next morning, Saturday's a totally different day.
Yep.
And yeah,
Starting over.
you didn't adhere to that. And it's like, all right, cool. So why would I keep a bad pattern? Let
Right.
me break that. I did what I did. Now I move forward right here. The more times you're able to wake up Saturday and not hold till Monday
Mm-hmm.
and build that habit of like, all right, failed, good, learned, move, do this. Like, you'll never work in money long enough to where you won't fail at something at some point.
Sure.
Okay. So, like, that's where you have to look at the Savage Home and say, look, guys, we're going to mess up some stuff, but we're going to be so much further down the road if we wake up Saturday and just say, all right, get at it again. We're not going to keep waiting for Monday. Monday means next month. Or, hey, you know what? It's a bad season. It's weird. I'm just going to kind of take my eyes off what we're doing right now. It's Christmas and I feel emotional. So I'm going to go do some things that I know are off plan. Right. I'm going to build a plan and say, hey, I'm going to either work a little extra, we're going to pull back here, but we're going to go I'm going to accommodate my life through the X, Y, and Z. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to kind of hit that emotional state first.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
It's super important. I mean, money is not black and white. It's not taxes. It is, you're going to walk off this call and you can go engage with one of your children and you might have to go to the urgent care. You didn't know that was coming. And that's what I want you to start out with that. So looking at your money, looking at your goals, what I saw from when I asked Molly to say, hey, what are your goals? This is what was written down. And I want to make sure we're still aligned here. You tend to overspend in categories like groceries and not be able to adhere to the total budget for the month. And you can't make up the difference the second part of the month. And then you're aware of places to do better, but your husband and you have one kid and you have a zoo.
Yeah.
2 dogs, 3
I accumulated the zoo before we had the kid. It was kind of leveraged to make sure I had a 2-legged, so that I'm like, I'll stop adopting pets if you give me a baby.
Hilarious. Okay, that's good stuff. Are you and your husband working on finances together?
We are. Yeah. He would be more of the saver, but then again, I'm the one that makes most of the financial decisions just because he is very laid back. I guess we can put it that way. And he would be like, he'll talk about him. He's open about him. He's like, hey, yeah, we'll sit down and we have reviews and talk about what our goals are, what we want to do and that sort of thing. And he's aware of all the debt and what we're trying to do to pay it off and everything. So, but I'm the one that goes grocery shopping. I'm the one that kind of runs the errands and stuff, and he goes to work. So, I mean, I anytime we make purchases, though, we run it by each other. But
Right.
he doesn't have the app on his phone. I have it online, but he'll tell me when he makes a purchase, and then I'll put it in there, and I'll be like, hey, we're getting close on this part of the budget or that. But so I try to figure out how to make, basically what all that was saying is I try to figure out how to make every dollar work. I get paid first of the month, in one month. And then he gets paid like every 2 weeks. But my money covers like the 4 walls and then debt payments.
Yep.
When I say my money, I just mean that it's from my check, like in every dollar. And then we use the money that he makes for like all the groceries, the pet food, the vet bills, the incidentals kind of. And then that's where I have a hard time because he gets that every 2 weeks. But I look at the total on every dollar. I'm like, oh yeah, we could totally make this work. And then I like see that number, and then I'm making purchases, and I'm like, no, we don't have that much right now. And so then we like the second week of his paycheck, I'm like, it's getting really thin here because I know I have stuff that's getting ready to come out for other things. So that's where I'm trying to I started dividing stuff into first half groceries, second half groceries, and trying to make that work. But even that can be a little, I don't know, like tough. And I can rein that in a little bit more, but I feel like I'm having a hard time nailing that kind of stuff down. And that's why I also put that I would only buy my daughter stuff in the second half of the month because the first half gets so tight. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make that kind of work. And then in September, he actually, because it's a longer, the way his checks hit, he gets 3 checks. And so we're trying to use that as a check to kind of catch up and get ahead so we don't slide into debt if, like you said, something happens. And so that's where I'm really struggling with trying to figure all that out. And some of it's control, some of it's just, I don't know. That's why I'm here with you.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. So, well, the first thing, I heard a few things in here I want to clarify for you. number one, my recommendation, if you're open to it, I would. What's your husband's name, by the way?
DJ.
DJ. Okay.
Yeah.
I would recommend that DJ also have the app. Okay.
Okay.
And here's the reason behind that. When he makes a purchase, like, if I remember to get it to you, or if I get it over to you, like, it's like you're almost the accountant of the house.
Yeah.
And you're also the comptroller of the house. So you're spending the money, you're trying to, and like, it can get overwhelming. And something that we do is we complexify our finances, and we hope that we get to communicate at some point about something.
Right.
Have you ever heard of the book Atomic Habits by James Clear? Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah. Yeah. I read that one. That's an arduous read because he restates a lot, but the concept is there for sure.
50 million times for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to build a habit or something.
Yeah.
But he says, hey, when you're trying to build a habit, you have to reduce as much friction as possible.
Right.
When you're trying to make traction in something, the least amount of interference that you can have, you're going to do better. And so DJ has the app. Number one, when a purchase is made, do you have your bank connected to EveryDollar?
I don't. So if we add him, for us to be synced up, we have to have premium, right?
Yes.
And so I was thinking, since we do get that 4th check in September, that'd be something that'd be worthwhile to sign up for and just get started and roll into the budget, like for monthly. But this month we had already planned our budget and it's almost out. And so,
yeah, well,
yeah.
Well, there's a couple reasons why we can do that. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. Our team's going to take care of that for you. Anyway, today.
You want to do that?
Well, no. Well, here's the deal. I want you to do it because there's two things that you're going to get. You're overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
You're manually putting in transactions that you're doing, and you're manually putting transactions that he's doing.
Yes.
Here's the thing. You will not be able to sustain this for long.
Okay.
And I don't want you and the Savage household to fall off the wagon. You've done 90% of the lifting by just paying attention. The 10% that's going to separate you from the old you, from the Friday night, I'll just wait till Monday, to Saturday, I'll start over, I'll keep moving, is reducing that friction. That's where having the bank connected, you're going to have your transactions flow in for you.
Okay.
DJ having the app as well will allow you guys to sit down in 30 seconds and swipe over and see where the money's going and have a 30-second conversation that's intentional, because there's a list of, let's talk about these just real quick. Yeah. You guys already do that. And I will tell you, most couples don't do that. They don't have those type of conversations. So that's something that I'm like super proud of you for already doing. But I would rather you guys make progress than just have one-off conversations about I made this purchase at Sam's or whatever, or whatever you did, it's fine. Yeah. But I would rather you see that than talk about it only and then hope you get to put it in there.
Yeah.
The second thing is the digital coach experience inside. We talked about that on the webinar, but I want to give you like kind of a personal tour on that for a second. When you come into the premium version, it's going to ask you, you and DJ, a bunch of questions to kind of figure out where you are, what's going on in your money. And then we actually find margin in your budget and we tell you exactly what to go do. Right. Now, you and DJ need to commit to doing it. And we'll actually ask you, do you want to do this? Do you not want to do this? And then that number will shift down. And then you will have personal daily, do this, and we'll help hold you accountable. Almost like about coaching you every day.
That's cool.
And even how you're talking with your spouse. The accounts for you and DJ will be synced. So when he makes a purchase, you see it. When you make a purchase, he sees it. When a transaction drags, it goes on both. And the reason why I tell couples to do it this way, and you may not feel this way, but I'm going to describe a situation. When it feels like that you've got to check in, almost like if your parents were letting you, if your mom was like, no, you can't buy that. Why? We don't have the money. That relationship can also be brought into a marriage.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely feel like if I check in with him, if he's overtired or something from work or whatever, that it's kind of like one more thing, and so, and then that used to be kind of that financial attitude around money until we had a kid. And now we're like, look, we got to do better. Like we've got to plan around this. So it kind of became more of not that it wasn't a joint thing, but it was more of a, you know, we recognize what's going on. We have to be, it's not the end of the world. And I think it helped that we started to already make progress on debt payments and stuff. And we were already like doing better, but we could see the light and we're like, it's just there. So let's get on board.
That's exactly right. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm seeing friction
Mm-hmm.
that we can simplify this journey for you and
Oh,
DJ,
great. Yeah.
right? And like what I can, my visual right now is like you're in water and it's like right here, and every once in a while a wave will go down and you get a breath of air,
What
right?
it feels like. Yeah.
That's the way you're talking about September.
Yeah. And
But
that's why we don't want to like mismanage that, because those chances don't come but maybe once a year. And then I know
that's
tax season, I know how Dave says about tax season, but until I can get through another tax season having my kid, I'm not confident to go in and be like messing with that. But that'll be the next thing to do.
that's one of the things in the digital coach experience. Not only will we talk to you about,
Yeah.
but we'll show you how that works. Because some people rely on that tax return as like that moment.
Right. Right.
And the reality is that you can actually get more like this 12 months out of a year versus
Right.
like this 1 month out of a year.
Yeah.
And we can show you some stuff on that as well. So again, you know, every dollar premium is $80 a year. But what we're seeing right now is the average person that goes to that digital coach experience is finding about $3,000 to $4,000 in breathing margin
Mm-hmm.
because they're following the plan that we're laying out. And it's based on your numbers, it's personalized to you. You combine that with the account connected. Now you're simplifying that process. You have now a personalized plan to walk out right in front of you so that when those checks come in and now as your debt is laying there, you know exactly the right next thing to go do. So you're not going like, well, crap, I wish I could talk to Chris right now because I don't really know what it's like. There it is. It's laid out. Even
Nice.
better, and you know this, but you can talk to us at any time.
Yeah.
So let's pull up the budget real quick. This is your budget, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was a way to. I guess without having premium, I can't really show you the. Oh, you can pull it up. Great. I guess you filled it in, but
We pulled it in, and Amy, is this on a premium account already? Okay, so this is the premium account, so we'll make sure and just move this over for you and get you taken care of.
okay.
But when you're on the premium account, so here's what I want to tell you, and this is I want to tell you this as well. So we'll connect your account over here on the accounts tab over here on the right. In about 20 to 30 minutes, you'll start seeing your transactions come in. It'll go pretty quick. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you're on that transactions tab right there, you can do this on the web, you can do this on the mobile. They sync, right? So
Okay. Can you do multiple banks
yeah,
or okay?
yeah, you can do multiple banks. We don't recommend people that have credit cards use credit cards. Obviously, we want you to stop using those.
Yeah, I froze my credit and we're not touching that anymore.
You're in a
Yeah.
situation where you're like, I still have a credit card. I'm not convinced yet. You can connect a credit card there as well. We just don't want you to do
No.
that because it's
Yeah.
robbing you of your future. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just got a new card in the mail yesterday from where Citibank was trying to send me one. And first thing I did was like, let me get some scissors. I'm like, I don't want this.
That's right. That's great. That's exactly the right thing to do. So your budget's right here in the middle, and I'm just going to
Yes.
walk you through just kind of quickly on how this will work. But that group coaching tab right there, you've heard me probably describe this before, but like I want to reiterate this that like that first link right there, that budgeting 101, Becky, if you're ever like, hey, like I don't know exactly how to lay out my budget or understand something. We do those almost every day and we have a recording there for you. Okay. So you can
Cool.
watch that one or join a live one anytime you want. That's part of premium as well. So let me scroll down just a little bit more, a little bit. We're about to introduce a new thing called financial roadmap, which kind of lays you all the way out to like your retirement status. Like,
That's awesome.
yes. So now as you and DJ are setting goals, now you can kind of see the timeline of what that looks like, all the way to like
Mhm.
paying off your house or your millionaire date as you guys are investing and stuff like that. Because if we can quit paying on debt and start investing for the future, you want to talk about this breathing room. It really, you're coming out of water altogether. Okay.
Yeah.
How to pay off debt. So let's scroll down just a little bit further here. And this is what I was going to tell you. Irregular income as well, you know, as you're doing that every
Mhm.
month, by the way. So we're late August right now. So notice like what's the day? Today is the 27th. Is that right? So 20,
28th.
28. Okay. So tomorrow we start setting up September's budget. Now we've already done yours for you, but like we'll show
Oh, cool.
you how that works as well. And then if you got any questions as you get stuck, you, DJ, whatever, scroll down just a little bit more. We also do the one-on-one coaching. So that 10-minute call, you can schedule as many of those as you want.
Okay.
So if you're like, I'm getting 3 checks in September, oh my goodness, like I'm falling off the wagon, I need some motivation. We'll pull up your budget just like this, Becky, answer your questions. If DJ says, oh, what about this? Great. Let me just schedule a call. Let's talk to them real quick. Like we have your information. We have everything right there. We don't have to be like, all right, I don't know who you are. What's going on? Boom.
Right.
We can jump in where you were. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. I wanted you to know about that. So here's the other thing. You mentioned like you're making these paychecks. Are these including DJ's paychecks?
So the 1310 are his paychecks, and then the 3125 is the one that I have every month.
Okay.
So yeah.
So okay. 3110. Okay, so you get paid once a month. DJ get paid
okay. Every 2 weeks. Yeah.
So if we flip over to September. This is what September looks like when you said he gets an extra check.
Yeah, because it hits on the 30th, and so I wasn't going to count that in the August budget because August is like gone. So it's just the timing of when it hits.
That's exactly the right thing to do.
And that doesn't include any overtime that he gets if he has holiday pay or anything like that. So
what does he do for a living?
So he works security for Figure 8 Island. They're like a private island, basically for millionaires. He works for the HOA there.
Okay, awesome. So
yeah.
When he works overtime and does that, what's an average number that overtime could look like?
So sometimes he gets like, and this is after he just got a raise, but I think sometimes that'll put him in like 1,400. Like when he works Monday, he'll get double time and a half, and I think he makes right around $21.50 an hour or something like that. So he'll get 8 hours of that times 2.5. So I mean, it does help a good bit. Sometimes you'll just see like 1,373 or something like that. But like it could be either a $50 bump or it could be like $125 bump, depending. Because right now they're fully staffed, but when they're not, he gets more overtime.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, when we're working our way out of debt, when you go through that digital coach experience, you're going to have your debt loaded up in there. It's going to give you a debt payoff date based on the commitments that you and DJ would make.
Right.
It's going to show you like, here's how fast you can and should get out of debt. Okay. So like when he's working overtime, I think the last thing that I would want for you may want this too, is that we don't want that money just to vaporize.
Right.
Right.
I don't want to be like, we had a bump, but we don't know what we did with it.
That's exactly right. That's just called control of your money, right? So, okay. So this is what a lot of people ask this question, and I wanted to show you what it looked like from just an income perspective to have 4 checks. All you're simply doing, and you can see this again, you click add income right there, Amy. Like if he had, I'm just going to use overtime. I know it's going to come in on the check, but like, so you can see it, right? So let's say overtime, let's just say $150, right? Now we're able to see like, what does that look like? The other thing is when you have your accounts connected through Bank Connect, your income comes in and you would drag that over to your income. So it's like, did that line up? Or it's going to show, oh, wow. Like, cause you wouldn't create an overtime. It'd come in on the same check, but you'd be like, paycheck 4 should be 1310, but it comes in at 1420. Drag that over. Your income's going to go up in the top left. And it's like, oh, where do we need to put this? So that you don't walk into that, like, where'd it go? You'll know.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, cool. So let's go back to August just for a second, because we're winding this month up. And do you feel like you guys are like $78 over? Is that what it feels like, or is that not what it feels like?
I feel like we're a little more over that because we had the HVAC issues, and then like when I felt like we were going to have a shortage, just to make sure we didn't like zero out at the bank, I borrowed some from our $1,000 emergency fund that I intend to like slot back if we don't use it. And I'm sorry about that. My grandpa just brought my daughter back, so the dogs are upset. But anyway, so that I do feel that restaurants are something we need to improve on. Like we don't have like an entertainment and like a fun money one. Like that's my husband's way of wanting to connect, is to go out and like let's go out to eat and have an evening. And he gets really excited about that. But I told him we need to get back on meal planning and that sort of thing. So I kind of feel, even though it says $78 on that, I feel like it's so much more, because when I'm looking at my emergency savings, like the next month you saw, it's like 266 is basically what we have to put back to get it to that 1,000.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I feel like it's 266, not 78,
Yeah. Well, and again, I think that one of the reasons why you feel that way, but the math isn't mathing,
Yeah.
is kind of that manual process of you putting in your own transactions, like even the moving of things. And I think that's when I mentioned that uphill dreams with downhill habits and that gap, right?
Yeah.
What the reason why you look at that, and math is math. 1 + 1 is 2. You and I can't argue about that.
Right.
But the feelings of when you go, it's really 260, but it's not showing.
Yeah.
That's where that's called stress.
Yeah.
Right. That's called
Absolutely.
overwhelm. That's called anxiety, because it's like it's not lining up. And so when you connect your account, or again, when you have that in there, now I want you, it'll line up. I want you to line up. Like, yeah, we moved $260 over. Great. The only thing that will happen is it's almost like when you said at the beginning, you just acknowledged, just call it what it is. Right. And that goes back to the way you open the call with people pleasing. Just acknowledge it. The more you're able to acknowledge that, money will make a lot more sense, because you and DJ then can be like, that doesn't line up with who we want to be. That doesn't line up with our plan to get out of debt. That doesn't line up with our future. We're not short-sighted people.
Right.
He doesn't sound like a short-sighted person. You sound like a very intentional person. And the gap's probably this wide. It feels this wide.
Yeah.
So scroll down just a little bit for me. Looking at your numbers, nothing looks crazy, like out of balance or anything like that. When you mention, keep scrolling down just a little bit more down to food. When you mention like going out to restaurants and stuff like that, like I understand that mindset, that like he views that as connection.
Yeah. And initially when I had first started budgeting, I put like $100 in there, and I thought, oh, we could go out twice a month for 2 people, or, 2.5 with our 1.5-year-old. But then I was like, it's just not realistic when you go out, and if he wants to get a cocktail, suddenly we're like, oh, that's $75. So where do you want to go for the other part? So I tried being like, okay, I'll just give in and we'll do 200 there, and then we'll just leave it there. And then when we go over, I'm like, seriously? So
Yeah. Well, and good that you feel that way. Better that we do something about it.
Yeah.
Right. Again, I don't want you to have any shame over your money. I just want you to be intentional with your money. Right. So I see that you're laying out groceries. I see that you're laying out restaurants. I understand the situation with pet food. So let's scroll down just a little bit more. So as we're looking at household goods, you have childcare. So I'm assuming, do you work from home or do you go into the office?
No, I get to work from home, and then I go out and teach programs. But the reason I did the household goods is because I had a hard time figuring out what we were actually spending on food when I started adding in things like dishwashing detergent and toilet paper and soap and stuff. And so that's why I separated that out, to be like, okay, am I just being like over the top with getting certain things too soon or what? So, and then childcare, my daughter goes to daycare. Thank God, we go to a great place. She gets $50 a day, which I don't think you can do, where a woman takes care of her grandkids, and mine was the same age. And so she goes 4 days a week.
Okay. And 1.5, right? So she's 1.5. Yeah,
next month. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have a miscellaneous tab there. It's 363. What do you feel like fills that category up?
So that's where that just gets into, I don't even know what the ism is on that, but it's like, if I buy like a birthday card for somebody, I don't know what category to put that in, or, so it's just kind of like I don't know where to put that. So I'm gonna put it miscellaneous. And so it's not meant to be like a slush fund necessarily, yep. But I definitely see targeting that or reassigning that as a way to kind of re-own that money, but I just don't know kind of how.
Yeah. Well, so let's say that number was to hold steady, right? Like you did that every month, right? So that's $4,000.
Yeah, that's a big change.
$4,300, right? Let's say your restaurants hold, right? Can you scroll back up to food real quick for me, Amy? Your restaurants were to hold. Let's see here.
There you go.
Right, 231. That's about 25. That's about $3,000. Right. So right now, and here's the thing. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But we're talking about $7,000 coming out of the Savage home.
Yeah.
That
That's just.
it's just,
Yeah.
that's right. And so here's the good news. Again, our job and what we're going to work with you on is how do we harness that? Because if we scroll down to the debt just for a second, because let's talk about what's stealing the ultimate amount of peace from your life.
Yeah.
It's right there staring you in the face. Are these the balances are these real? Okay. Amy,
No.
can you please put in real balances for me real quick? Do you have those?
I don't think I do. Becky, do you know these off the top of your head by chance?
If I minimize this window, I can pull up the email I sent you real quick.
I've got it right here.
I was
I may
gonna say,
have missed that.
I think the loan is like 787.
Discover is 787.28.
That's for the loan.
Care credit.
Yeah, that's the vet bills. That's like 1072 and some change.
1,072, and then we have a Discover card.
Just
16,337.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the good news. You're about $18,000 in debt. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's manageable. I can kick it off, and this is less than what we've had, so we've made progress already.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's manageable, but here's what I want. I want it to be unmanageable.
Right. I want it to be uncomfortable.
I want it to be you already are there,
right?
But I want that money back in your life, because when I look at your payments per month right now, right? This is what, again, we just talked about $7,000, right? But if I look at the payments per month on that right now, it's about that's $680. It's $700 a month right now that's going out of your family's house.
Yeah.
Right? 700 times 12 is $8,400.
Yeah.
So now, if you look at just those two things, I want you to think about this. When I went, remember I was here, and I said, hey, you get that extra check and you go here, and then that gives you breathing. That's great. When you can control $15,000 going out of your house every year, you'll be here.
Right.
You will sleep better. You will work different. You and DJ will connect different. Your child, what's your child's name?
Riley Sue.
Riley Sue. Riley Sue, her life is different. The cocktail tastes different.
Yeah.
The connections, all those things become different because Discover, Care, and the debt is no longer stealing your life. Your income is a true income, not an outgo anymore. I want you to, when I say manageable, can you scroll back up to the top for me just a second, Amy? When I say manageable, I want you to think about this for a second. Nearly half of everything that DJ works for a month is gone in every 2-week period.
Yeah.
To something that's in the past. It's not building our future. We're paying for our past.
Right.
And so this is the reason why I'm going to put you on the EveryDollar Premium. This is the reason why I want you to connect the account. That's why I want him to download the app. I want you to manage the transactions that way. I want you to do the digital coaching, because I want you to see what you're capable of. Not in years, Becky, not in years, months.
Right.
Because you guys are so stinking close to this.
Yeah. And I finally did the snowball thing with the debt. Because I just kind of got used to doing the minimum payments and stuff like that. And then so September, when I set my numbers, I set it up to do the snowball. So I actually would knock out that Discover loan a month before it's supposed to complete, which would save money on interest. And then that care credit would be gone by January. And then it's just 100% on that Discover card, and not, just knocking that down. But I was just trying to set up sinking funds. At least that was my logic, because like I don't want to have to go back to using the care credit card for vet bills. So if I put some money aside for that, while I have a little, I don't want to say flexibility, but while I plan for that, I was hoping that that was a good strategy to not, to embrace that, the little, surges that come with, oh gosh, we got to pay for this. And then I don't want to have to go and make a habit of, well, just take it out of the emergency fund,
Yeah.
because I know that's not technically what constitutes an emergency. So,
Wow. How long have you been around our plan?
well, I've been listening to Dave Ramsey podcasts like they're candy. I think I listen to more of them before they drop, but it's just, I can't, yeah. So, I've been listening a lot, and it's just something I'm trying to plan for, but then I don't know if I have the habit of, like, I think the reason I'm still in debt is because I would overpay and not leave myself anything to work with for the month. And then I'd have to go right back to a credit card. So like, I'm trying to tamp that extreme urge down. And so this idea of putting money aside feels wrong instead of putting it towards the debt. But then I don't know if I'm putting the horse before the cart or what. Like,
well, let's talk about that for a second. So you have $1,000 emergency fund, right?
We will next month. It'll be refunded.
Yeah, that 266 is coming back.
Yeah.
You'll have $1,000 emergency. When you do the digital coach experience and you put in those numbers, it's going to tell you exactly what to go do. I heard you talking about the tax refund. There's a few other things in there as well. You will have opportunity to start cash flowing. That's what we would call it. You're cash flowing vet bills versus putting it on debt. And like, if something hits you sideways, when when you think about your vet bills, like, do they catch you off guard, or are they just a part of your life?
I mean, it's hard to say because I've been living off that care credit card and then just paying it down before the interest hits you. So, but I mean, sometimes they're never like $100. They're always like, oh, there's $400 here, or here's $1,000 here after you do like check-ins and vaccines and all that. So I get close to paying it down, and it's like, oh, here comes more care here,
Yeah.
So it feels like I never get out of it.
Well, let me ask you on that. So like, let's take it out of animals and let's take it to a child, right?
Yeah.
If your child needed like medical care, would it hit you out of left field, or is it just like, man, this kind of feels like this is my life? It's probably not going to change.
Yeah.
So
so I budgeted for her visits because I know she has set visits and like copay and stuff, but we did have an emergency visit bill that kind of hit us, but thank God for HSAs. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and that's an emergency.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're setting back $100 a month or $300 a month for your vet bills, and something hits you for $1,000, what's that? That's called, it's emergency. Right. And then you and DJ have to come together and figure out, like, and I read your email. I'm not getting rid of the pets, right? I understand. I get it.
I know what, yeah.
And that's okay. Listen, I would never ask you to get rid of your pet. You told me to get rid of my dog, Buddy Pickles. I'd be like, no way, like, I'm not going to happen. But so that comes with a cost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that comes with a preparation. You sound more intentional about it than I probably expected you to be. And I'm very excited about that for you, because I think if you guys look at it and just say, man, we need $3,600 a year. That's about what we spend on pet and vet situations. Well, guess what? You can do that. You can have that set aside, or pay yourself every month. Pay yourself every month versus paying the care credit card. So in a month where they don't have anything, pay yourself. In the month where they do have something, pay it out of yourself, your cash flow, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be key right there as well. Once you start seeing those numbers, though, come in from the digital coach experience, I think you'll start going, okay, now I know what to do. You're exactly right. You should get the Discover card out of your life very quickly. That's $787. I think you will be out of the first two debts and only have one debt walking into 2026. I don't think you have all those. I don't think you'll have three. You won't have two debts. You'll have one debt in 2020.
That's our goal. Yeah.
And I think that'll happen very, very quickly. Then you will have a tax return, but also I would rather see that coming back into your household every month versus paying that interest free to the government for 12 months.
Yeah, amen to that.
Right? Yeah, right. I mean, they got enough for our money, right? They don't need any more. Are you guys investing at all right now?
So I paused. My husband, I was needling him to try to get back because his company does a really good match, but when he hadn't changed it back since he was a student. So I was doing 160 a month, like into my 401k. And then I changed it to Ed Jones because North Carolina decided they were playing with the idea of using investments in Bitcoin, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I stopped that though, and I froze that just so I could use that extra 100. And this last time I used it to pay the remainder of my daughter's emergency bill, but I was going to use that towards popping that towards the debt, so that we can get it paid down quicker. Because I know that once you get the debt paid down, then you can go to 15% instead of like your whatever 5% or whatever. And then I told my husband I really want him, once we get this debt paid off, to look at his checks and really start like hitting that match and getting the full benefit of it.
So is he investing, or is DJ not investing?
Not really. I don't think he contributes maybe like $60 a month, if that. I have to look at his next paycheck stub. I mean, it's minimal. And I'll be honest with you, trying to convince him to do the paperwork to make it stop, I don't, that would probably take 3 months just to get him to do that.
You're like, DJ, I'll give you $240 just to not do it. Yeah, just I got you.
Yeah, man hates paperwork.
Do you guys, we all do. Do you guys have items in your household like that you could sell, assets or anything like that you could sell at all?
I mean, maybe some used baby toys, but honestly, we're not very materialistic. So we're not organized, but we're not hoarders. So,
well, you just be shocked on that sometimes. Like,
yeah.
And again, baby toy, I don't know what it would be, but there's so many different ways. And that's some stuff, again, in the digital coaching experience we walk through, kind of going like, here's some ideas for you to generate income. I don't want you to live the way that we're talking about for the rest of your life.
No, me neither.
I want you to live that certain way for a short period of highly focused, intense time, so that you get that $700 that you're paying out back into your life, so that you guys, when you guys can do a whole lot more. You mentioned that 15% investment, which is huge. Have you ever done the investment calculator for yourself?
No, because honestly, that felt so far away that I didn't even want to it's like touching fire. I don't want to, we're not anywhere near there. So
you're not there yet, but here's the thing. I want to show you your own number for a second. Because I feel like that this is not so far away, because we're talking about getting out of debt probably in the next year. Okay. So
I'm 40.
Okay. All right. You're 40. Okay. DJ around the same age?
No, I'm a cougar. He's 4 years younger than me. So he's 36.
Okay. I love it. All right. Let's just say you retire at 65. Okay.
As if.
Okay. Do what now?
I said as if.
Yeah.
But sure.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you believe you could do that?
No, I don't. I don't think Social Security is going to be around when I go to retire. So I think I'll probably work until I'm like 72. I wouldn't want to, but I know my dad's 70 and he's retired, and he just retired at 68. And so, I can't, I don't know. I'm too all over the place and have to be doing stuff and be active, that unless I had like a lot of money to play with, that I was like, I'll travel, I'll do this, I'll go do that. I'll be too old to be around for my grandkids, so it's like, I just feel like I'll probably keep working.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm about to show you something, because I'm built like you two. I'm probably never going to truly retire. I'll probably always work. But the difference, Becky, is for you and DJ, you can choose to do something versus have to do something. So let's take a look at this. Right now, from an investment standpoint, how much do you have currently in your investments?
I can pull that up really quickly.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. This is your time.
Yeah, but I feel like I already went over my.
Hey, listen, this is good. This is good for you and us. We love it.
Oh, my daughter's trying to open the door. Okay. So I have, in one of my Ed Jones accounts, it's, $12,484. But they move money from that, and that's mutual funds and S&P and stuff. And then they move money into my Roth IRA. And now I have, well, this number's probably gone up because he just moved some more money, but it was $6,548. And then in my North Carolina 401k, I have 15,338.
Okay. So you've got about, between you and DJ, I would say you guys have between 35 and 40,000 in there right now. Does that sound about right?
I mean, that sounds, yeah, huge. I guess I never looked at it that way, but yeah, probably.
Okay, let's go 35,000 then. Let's just keep it.
We're going to keep conservative.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you can get out of debt, which you can, again, if you do the things I mentioned, get the account set up with DJ. Okay.
Yep.
Let him see it, connect the banks like we talked about. Okay. Do the digital coach experience. You'll see a debt-free date. You guys will see that and be able to work through that a lot faster. So you're going to get out of debt very quickly. So we'll call it a year. All right. So right now you're paying $700 a month out in debt.
On debt.
What's the interest rate you're paying on your credit card right now?
Oh God, I feel like I knew that. I think it's something. So that's the fun about Discover, is that then the promotional, you get a certain rate. I think one is like 17 and another is, it could be higher. I don't know that I want to say like 24, but it could be higher just based on like a certain timing of when you made purchases. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And they say make multiple payments within a pay cycle. And I'm just like, let's just flop it on there and be done with it. Cause I'm hitting the minimum payment. So I don't have the extra room to do multiples on it. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm ready to get rid of that, but it's the biggest one. So I put it at the back of the snowball.
Yeah. 20% by that. All right. So let's just say we get that out of our life, right? So I want you to see something. So if we go to 10% on your interest rate, which is about the average S&P, you mentioned S&P.
Yeah.
This year it's higher than that, but that's an average over 40 years. So a lot of people, when they go, hang on a second, I've seen it at 20, like last year was 23%. The year before that was 22%. Like it's much higher than that many times, but like that's a good 40-year average, your entire lifespan average. All right, let's take a look.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So let me give you an example on something real quick. Social Security for the average person is about $2,000 or less. So when you mention like, I don't know if it'll be there. I don't know if it will be either, but when you got $1.3 million. I
don't care. Yeah.
Look here for a second, Becky.
Yeah.
You don't care because you can breathe.
Right.
You don't care because you ain't dependent on them. And guess what? If it is there, great. You and DJ will take $4,000 a month collectively, plus the money you have right here. Because I mean, now we're talking about a lot of money in your future. When I tell you that debt is stealing your stress, your anxiety, it's giving you stress, anxiety and overwhelm and no breathing room right now. The 65-year-old Becky, who still says, I would work till 72 anyway, is screaming at you going, we can't Well, we can't let Fridays where we ate too much be the reason why we wait till Monday to start our diet back over. It can't happen. So when you mess up a little bit, I don't care. I'd rather you stick with the plan and get traction, because this is what we're losing right now. And I know it's fire and you don't want to touch it and stuff like that, but sometimes rather than having a stick, sometimes it's good just to see like a carrot on the end of that stick going, that's what I'm going for. Right. Yeah. Do you think DJ would even believe that this is possible for the Savage home?
I mean, this looks pretty in depth, so I think he would find it to be possible. I think it's something that we just haven't dared to hope yet. I mean, and my dad does decently well for himself as he's retired and stuff, but his parents are not great with money. Like they just had a lawsuit settle out and they're going to get a pretty big lump sum. And his mom is already trying to find ways to be like, oh, we're going to give y'all some in this. And I was like, if they give us any, we'll just put it in a high yield savings account and hold on to it for them when they go broke and then give it right back to them, like it's just, but there, so he's always just been a saver.
Take the debt off.
Well, yeah, it just feels like tainted money on that, but yeah, but it's I've thought about that too, but he's always just been a saver. That's been his strategy. Like he'll drive a truck that I think we were so thrilled when we finally stumbled along to CarMax and sold it for $1,000. I said, I'd have left it here for a nickel. I thank you, like that thing was good. And then, like my dad always thought that was crazy. So why didn't you buy him a better car? And I'm like, I mean, he can pinch a buffalo off a nickel. He doesn't want to spend anything. So that's always been his strategy. And when he was single, it was great. It worked well. And then I think I've cost him some money coming in. And but no. So we're trying to just basically redefine our financial strategies as a couple. So he's super open-minded and stuff. And I think if he sees this, he's going to be I think he's going to be pumped. I think he's going to be even more driven about that stuff. And he's always good about like, hey, well, we can cut back on this and we can put this towards that. So he's I think a big cheerleader in this.
That's great. And I think these are good motivating moments. So when I say him joining you with this, him getting the app is way more than just looking at transactions.
Right.
It's this. It's why am I doing this? Where are we going?
Right.
And if people will run through a wall if they know why.
Right.
And and if I know that if I can just get them out of my life, because here's the thing about that number right there, that 700. That's not including a match.
Right.
That's not including you guys ever getting a raise. That's the same income for the next 25 years. Nothing ever changes. And we both know that'll never be that's not true. So what we're saying is if nothing ever changes and we just get out of debt, this is what it could be like. It could be a lot more than that.
Right.
You can live there for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go back to the budget one more time and we'll wrap up here. And I'm so grateful for your time this morning.
No, thank you for being willing to run over. I was terrified I was going to cut out right at 30.
Here's the thing. We got a few takeaways we need to go do. Okay. First thing is we're going to get you set up with premium. I know you're about to go purchase it already, and I appreciate that because it's the right thing. You can already see the investment on the other side of this is well worth it, but we're going to hook you up with that. I want you to connect your bank. It's safe. It's the same level of encryption your bank uses. Don't worry about that. I want DJ to download the app because you guys need to do this together. That's going to reduce the complexity of you trying to manually do everything. Because here's the deal. If you kept doing that, if I talked to you again in 2 months, you wouldn't keep doing it. It's going to overwhelm you.
Right. Especially at holidays. And then when he downloads the app, how does it link him directly to where we're in the account? Is that just already, you guys are just wizards?
No, we're definitely, we're not. No. So right here, we're on the web version. So if you look at the bottom left, you click that little settings button.
Oh, okay.
And then you go to manage your account. And then right here, it says your household. So right there, you click that. And then all you would do is click add spouse.
Nice.
And so anytime he logs in, he can have his own login. He can use his phone with Face ID, all those things. So it's the same account that's linked so that you and DJ are always on the same page.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
And that'll get you taken care of right there. The next thing that I think that you would do, so connect the accounts, do the digital coaching experience, have DJ download the app and get that on his phone. And then the other thing that I'd like you to spend a little bit of time on is there's a group coaching call called Irregular Income where they're going to go over paycheck planning.
Right.
You kind of delay some of the purchases for your daughter to the second half of the month because it's so tight at the beginning.
Yeah.
Number one, I think you're going to get a lot more breathing room than you think when you go through the digital coach experience. And now I want you to lay out that month the right way. And we'll do more calls with you like this. And you can always book a 10-minute with our team anytime. So if you get stuck, DJ, but that paycheck planning will actually lay it out. So if you go to that just real quick, I'll just do a quick flyover for you. Look at that statement right there. That's the thing I heard you say at the beginning. When is it safe for me to spend the money?
Yeah.
That's
a lot of stress.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. When you lay this out, you scroll down just a little bit. There's a little tab that'll be on your phone and will be on the web as well. So you scroll down a little bit there, Amy.
I'm glad to see you have a buffer because when we first started the plan, we had to kind of set that up so that we didn't like go to zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the reason why we did that. And like, people would go to zero because we call it zero-based budgeting, but they would go to zero in their account. You're like,
bank doesn't like that. Yeah.
Well, here's what's crazy, Becky. The average American overdrafts $250 a year.
I believe it. Yeah.
Banks made $8 billion off overdraft fees last year. One CEO made so much money, he bought a boat and called it overdraft, named it overdraft.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm mad at him too.
I am, but that's a really good pun.
Yeah. He's floating on it for sure. But so when you put that buffer in, notice that tab right there's a risk of overspending is low. When you lay out your month and you follow that, it's good. Like great. Because now you're tracking the transaction. It will actually warn you and say, hey, Becky, hey, DJ, you have a high risk, and you can go in and see exactly what's about to tackle you from behind.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, which is really good there as well. So connect the account, do the digital coach experience. When you sign in on your premium account, it's going to walk you through those questions. It'll take you about 15 minutes. We're asking you all kinds of stuff because we're building you a personalized plan, okay? You got to do it on the app. We don't have that on the web yet, okay? DJ gets the app. I want you to be on the irregular income call right there. I think the next one is September 10th. Hop on that. Learn through about that a little bit. I want you to look at that investment calculator with DJ.
Okay.
I know it's a little bit more in depth. We are recording this, so you can go back and watch this with him. So
okay, cool. I'm used to taking notes.
Yeah. Hey, DJ, when you watch this, that's what you could do, my friend.
Oh, yes.
And it's simple. All the math we used was your math. It wasn't our math. This is your math. It's just this is what it could look like. That debt is robbing you. We got to get you out of it. So the things that we're talking about will set you up, and for you and Becky to get some breathing room in your life. And so, yes. So let's start right there. And then we'll set up another call with you. Probably, I want to give you about 30 days to do some of the things we've been talking about. I want you to get that digital coach experience, which you could start like today. And I want you 30 days in there with DJ, like working that through. And I want you to start thinking about like what your stress levels are doing. I want you to start thinking about what your anxiety is looking like. I want you to start thinking about like, are you dreaming differently? Are you breathing differently? And then when you mess up, great. Start over the next day. Do it again. It's not the end of the world. You can do it. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes,
I really appreciate all y'all. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you as well. Thank you for jumping on here with us.
Yeah,
you guys are a great family. We are so pumped to have you in the EveryDollar family now. And so we'll get that code out to you here in just a few moments and have everything you need. And you let me know and let Molly know or Amy know whatever we can do for you. You guys are not alone in this battle. We got you.
Thank y'all so much. Like you said, I feel like I can kind of maybe get above water and stay there a little bit more.